peace to all y'all, the ones who watch these videos, man, with an open mind, and you're not necessarily detached, but you're trying to become that, family. Well, this is a different video, y'all. In this video, I want to get on, the battle or the text that will be sent your way. I'm gonna give y'all some story times, because I don't ever give y'all these gems without, telling y'all what I go through, because I go through things, you might go through things, we all go through things, family. It is raining outside. I love the rain, I see myself as that, so shall you, because your body's made or comprised of liquid, man, and that liquid is awa. So that's why I tell y'all, family, that in this life, family, you must choose what it is that you enjoy doing, because only you can do that. Everybody's good at something, and I don't know what you're good at. I can't tell you. You might be good at being an entrepreneur. You might be good at creating something, which is a brand. You might be good at living without the needs of what people see in you, because only you know what you are good at, family. I can't tell you otherwise, but I can tell you this though, family. I can tell you right now that everything starts with you, and everything will change when you decide to flip a switch or turn off your humanity to where nothing can stop you from getting your shit done, I love the rain, and I love the rain because it reminds me that things change. The rain shows you or signifies that it ain't always sunny or cloudy. Things happen that change the way the atmosphere, evolves around you, man. So that's why I'm here to tell you, family, that you just want to be something or someone, because not everybody's gonna look at you, like if you are that, man. But let me tell y'all something, family. Let me give y'all some story times, For instance, just say there was nobody at a store, or let's just say I went to a store, I went to a store in the middle of nowhere. And I don't want to say the middle of nowhere, but when you're driving, through the country, or you're through the valley of death, I should say, there's not really stores, or there is some, but highly, unlikely. So let's just say I go to a store, y'all, and I choose to go get something, or I'm putting gas in my car, or I'm getting ready to, propel off into the, unknown. Well, then it's funny, or it's really crazy how, one person could go in that motherfucker, and when you come out, hella cars are right there going in with you, because you're a light, man. You're here to help people, but you're here to show people that you are the center of attention, man, in your life, man. You become somebody with main character energy, because people don't know what it is about you, but they sense it. You know what I'm saying? They sense that shit like a sensor, or just something that they can't grab onto because they can't see it, but they see you. And when they see you, they feel good. Like, think about it. You might not like me over this phone, or you might just look at me like he fucking trolling. But you get in my presence, man, I'm gonna shake your boots, man. Or I'm gonna make you feel like you love yourself in a way to where it's either gonna agitate you or it's gonna make you love me, because I'm reflecting to you of who I really am. So just with that little knowledge, man, it's powerful, because if I tell you, family, the quickest way to attract a peaceful life is to live that peaceful life, man. You must be peaceful, and not just somebody who wants peace. It has to come from your heart, family. The glow is not going to be given to you if God doesn't see you trying to work for it. I work hard. I'm somebody that doesn't like to show what I'm capable of, because I got to use everything that's for me as a detective to protect myself, man, in self-defense, or just if someone tries to feel like, oh, I know him, you know what I'm saying? But let me tell y'all something, y'all. And it's true. If you have a light and you go somewhere where there's nobody, well, I promise you will attract hella people. Not because they look at you like the enemy, but they're attracted to what it is that they don't have, or they just want something. They just want to feel good around something that they can't, perceive in a way, because You don't gotta call nobody. You don't gotta talk. But you stepping out, it's gonna, you know, attract who the fuck it's gonna be for you, or the ones that really need help, you know, family. So I give you this video as just someone who has been through it already, just for my people who are now getting the journey or trying to figure out what it is. You have to, you know, propel, you have to evolve, and you have to take off, man, because whether you like it or not, the attraction is gonna come regardless. You know, I could say I don't want attraction. You know, I could say I don't want these females to look my way, but they're gonna look my way regardless, because I can't stop them from what they're attracted to. You know what I'm saying? And that's because science is something that is truly elegant, man. But it will save your ass if you know what science really is, man. And the science of your body or your mechanism, because the shit that emits from you is what's in your power, man. So why not use that to protect yourself or help you fight against demonic forces that are here or sent your way to attack you, man? You know, what does, look, think about it, family. What does a woman really want from you? All they ask for is someone who's not gonna be touchy-feely, but yes, touchy-feely, because they want to make sure that you can provide and you can stand like tall with head high, and they want to know that you ain't lacking, man, because everybody wants to show or wants to feel like they have found peace, man. And peace is only gonna come your way is if you are living that way. So I just want you to know or be aware that in this life, family, that you better take advantage while you have control of this vessel, man, because even though you can't die, you will transcend one day. So what's stopping you or stopping your blessings from, you know, hitting your doorstep? You know, family? But this is story one. And I'm just here to tell you that you will attract people whether you want them or not, depending where you're at. Because it don't matter where you're at, you're always going to attract people, whether they're healed or unhealed, because you're a light bulb, man. Your light shines heavenly, man. And I'm here to help you, whether you like me or you don't, because I'm just here to fulfill my purpose, man. I choose purpose because purpose is forever, you know, forever live on, not disappear like mist, man, and then nobody knows who the fuck you were, because then, you know, you won't really feel good about yourself, or you're just gonna feel like shit, trash, you know. And it's not a good feeling, family. You know, you want to help your family get out the gutter. You want to be the first millionaire in your family. Well, I'm here to tell you, man, it all starts with your actions, but it starts with the energy behind your actions. That's what gives you the attraction. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about nonsense all day, but people will, I guarantee you, will, you know, they'll scatter around me because of this light I have. It's luminous. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta talk or tell you anything, but you're gonna look at me for the fact like, damn, why is he, or what makes him the way he is, you know? Because I'm telling y'all, family, it's that I'm favored by God because I chose to do God's work, man. I stand on business, you know? And if I, you know, fuck with you, man, I'll fuck with you heavy. You know, I'm not on that fake shit, you know? I'll go to war for the people I love because I don't fear nothing. You know, I embrace what comes my way, because if you can transmute that, well then, who can say you did wrong? You know what I'm saying, family? But it's all about how you take it, how you see life, and really knowing thyself, because once you know yourself, family, the ball's in your court, man. And that's what they say that shit as you shoot, you know what I'm saying? But everything that you need will happen as long as you stay right here. Live and not think. You can think about what you gotta do, but not overthink, because that's just gonna create, you know, if you want to say, you feeling stuck and you can't get out of that quicksand. So just know, family, that the shit I'm telling y'all is real, man. It's not to scare you, and it's not to embrace, you know, what's ahead, but to remind you that it's because you're a walking inspiration, man. And you don't have to be no fucking celebrity to do that, man. All you gotta do is love yourself and tell yourself that you are loved. Love you, and I guarantee you, either they gonna love you from you know, for who you are, they gonna love you from afar, because that's the energy you are giving off. So that's all I want y'all to know, family, is it's important to be self, man, when no one is watching. And that's why your teachers would always tell y'all it's important to have integrity. Do the right thing when no one's looking. But you know, I'm here to tell you that, you know, that's what it truly means to be someone of luminous, man. Because you're not trying to chase, but you're trying to, you know, you're just trying to embrace, man, what's to come, man. Because in this world, y'all, everything is simply by how you take it, man. You know, I tell that you gotta love yourself, man. Because who's gonna love you more than you? Nobody. Because everybody should be putting themselves first, you know. That's just the law of the universe, man. You can't love someone if you don't love you. But I'm just here to remind your family that it's important if you go through things or situations that seem unheard of, man. Because, you know, I've been through the fire like you. It's just I use that fire within me, man, to remind me that, you know, the person I became is someone who has been through trials and tribulations. And I won't let shit stop me, because nothing can stop me, you know. The only person who can is myself, man. I'm either gonna win and you're gonna win with me, or you're gonna watch me win and you're gonna see the fruits of my labor as it's before your eyes, man. So just watch as I say this, family. You know, never be afraid to be yourself, man. Never feel like whoever's looking at you, you know, they're judging you. Who gives a fuck? You know, you're doing something that's highly favored by God, or by the ones you want to call the divine source, man, or the Most High, because no one can stop what you got going on, man. This is your life, man. You got to change it, or it's gonna change in front of you, and it might hurt you because you're watching everything crumble or being controlled without you doing anything about it, you know, family. So, you know, I'm gonna give you all a second story, you know, or this is another part of the plot twist, you know. If you have a girlfriend, or you know, you're just someone that was alone. Let's just say you go around, you know, and they have there's a guy who has a female, man. Well, you're gonna intimidate the fuck out of him, because you ain't gotta do nothing. All you gotta do is sit here, stand or rise, and just live, you know. But they're gonna, you know, they might not be able to keep their eye off you, because, like I say, what attracts someone? Energy. It's not the physical body. The physical body is here to remind you of what you're implanting in. But the energy behind everything you do is what gives you that power. So let's just say, you know, you have a friend, or you are fucking with, you had homies in the past that you used to fuck with. Well, they might not want you to be around them anymore, because, you know, your energy causes change. And most people don't want that shit. So let's just say, you know, I had homies in the past that I used to smoke and chill with, or we used to sell shit, you know. Well, they might look at me like who is he? You changed, you switched, but it's not really that, y'all. I chose to evolve, you know, like Rimuru. I'm no longer a regular you know, person with this power. I know I evolved into a demon lord, so I must do whatever I can to keep myself protected. But I must stay at my house at all times, because I can't let no one see the weak that I have within me, unless you choose to. But remember, family, it's okay if you cry. It's okay if you feel depressed. It's okay if you feel like everything's not going your way, because those are to remind you why you got to keep going, man. Everybody has emotions. If you intake flesh or you intake anything, you will, like I say, start feeling what the fuck you want to take, because you are what you eat. You are what you give your body, man. So I'm here to remind you that don't trip, man. Just be peaceful, stay calm, and know that God trusts you, because you're doing what He has sent you to do. But I give y'all the second story, man. I mean, this is the second story, my bad, family. But that's just what it is. Everybody's gonna look at you like you changed. Or, you know, let's just say you see a girl that's bad, and you know, you see her main, you know what I'm saying? Well, he might not like the fact that her woman is you know, attracted to you, not because she wants you necessarily to hit on her, but she don't know what the fuck it is that you you know, walk with, or you know, like I say, this light that you have, you know. It threatens him in a way, because he don't know, you know, they're not gonna like the fact that why the fuck is my bitch attracted to someone else, or to feel like what the fuck can I not, control my girl in a way to where she don't fuck with him? Because you gotta think about it like this, family. Everybody's attracted to energy, man. Energy is gonna heal you, it's gonna uplift you, and it's gonna remind you all the shit you can do in the world with energy, family. So let's just say, I had a partner, he had a female, well, he might necessarily not want me to be around him when he's with his girl, because she's gonna, she might agitate him, or she might throw subtle signs at me trying to get my attention when, I'm not that type of person. So if you have a female and I fuck with you, and you my partner, or you someone that I know, well, I'm not even gonna look her way, because I know who you are and I know who she is. But I respect you, It takes respect to get respect, family. So you must look at everybody like that's them, or you gotta do what's best for you, because that's only gonna create problems, chaos, and you don't even want to be in that type of energy, because you will never get shit. So I remind your family that it is true. Let's just say you work a job, or let's just say you go to the grocery store, man. You're gonna intimidate the fuck out of men if they with they women, because they women ain't gonna be able to keep their eyes off you, man. Because it's like this. It's like they're like babies, and they're seeing their mom for the first time, so they're like, or they get that bliss of happiness, because that's the energy you're giving off. So that's what they're attracted to. You might think you have a fine face, or you might think like I'm glowing, nobody can fuck with me. But in reality, y'all, they're attracted to that luminous or that luminosity you walk with, man. Because if a man don't have that, well, then that's what every woman truly desires, man. Because they go off their emotions. They're highly tapped into the spiritual realms more than what you think, man. And that's why I tell your family, you gotta be yourself even when nobody's watching, man. Because you're either gonna inspire or you're gonna tire them. Because love, it starts with you. When you find your soulmate, or when you find your girl, whoever she's to be, she's a reflection of you. So if you don't see yourself with that, well, she's gonna see you as an invisible person, because she's only going after her reflection, man. What you are is what you will attract, man, because you reflect like a mirror, man. And that's why I tell your family, you want to stay stoic. You want to be someone that has that chaos energy, ready to, like I say, you want to be someone who's just ready to stand on business no matter what. I'm not saying you can't have emotion. It's important to have emotion, because you're trying to show sympathy, man. If you don't care, well, then how can you say that you love someone? You know what I'm saying, family? So you better love them now while they're here. If they're in your grasp, man, hug that bitch. Tell her you love her, and remind her that you're mine, because if she's not seeing that you actually care, well, then she's not gonna look at you the same way, because it's about domination and submission. You must be the one, not necessarily dominating her, but you must dominate that relationship to where she ain't got no trip, or if she got problems in her day-to-day life, well, she ain't got to worry about it when she's with you, because you're giving her that peace. You're calming her down. All you want to do is, talk to her and tell her how was your day. Take her out to get whatever she wants. Not necessarily the whole world, but just help her out, man. Because women, that's all they want, is a partner that's gonna be there for them, and not somebody who's gonna, like I say, degrade them. But I'm here to remind you that the only way you'll be able to gain, what it is you're seeking, which is, prosperity, fertility, or just simple connection with someone. You gotta have that energy within you radiating. Most people can't take the sun, so they fucking have umbrellas and shit, right? Because the sun is rising in frequency as we. So that's just signifying that the people who ain't on the frequency of the planet or the realm, it's gonna eventually leave you behind. And that's why they said the world is left behind, because not everybody will be able to maintain or sustain the frequency of the realm as we start rising, because everything's going back to how it once was, right? So as I say this, family, the people who choose to stay stagnant and still and to let's just say you're destroying the planet, or let's just say you don't give a fuck, or let's just say you're causing chaos wherever you go, well, the planet's gonna remove your ass, because You're not acting in harmony. You're not giving the world what it always needed, man, which is peace, man. And I'm just telling y'all this shit because I want to remind y'all that you are important, man. You matter. If you don't fuck with me behind this camera, I'm gonna fuck with you because I know who you are within, man. You know, it's just not everybody does. So that's why they act out of that ego and fear to hide their true identity, because, you know, like I say, someone like myself, man, you will intimidate people, not because you want to, but because they see, like, damn, that motherfucker just glowing, you know. I see it in you, and all you want to do, family, is give them that, but you can't give them that if they don't want it. You know what I'm saying, family? The only way you must want it is by, you know, truly loving yourself, truly working on yourself. It takes time. Time ain't real, but what is real is the true capabilities your body holds within, and all you gotta do is just let it rise over time, man, because it only takes one day, family, or you're gonna be forever stuck on that day one, you know. But take that in, family. Before I go any deeper, I just want y'all to take that shit in, because, you know, I don't want y'all to lose. I don't want y'all to lose me here, or I don't want to lose y'all with the information I'm talking about, because this shit comes from the cosmos, man. You know, once someone has risen so high like Eisen, well, then you come back down to the physical form to give it out. And that's why people, they scratch their head and they're like, huh? Or wait, say it again? Speak up? But it all starts with energy, y'all. To fully comprehend what I'm saying, or to feel me, you must, like I say, have the energy within your avatar. You won't change any color if you don't fucking have energy, y'all, because your body is deprived of its nutrients, man. You know, if you have a female, y'all, and she's not with the shit you're on, well, then you gotta drop her. You gotta leave her in the grain of salt, because she doesn't see what you are doing, and she doesn't, you know, she's not trying to, you know, accept it, or you know, stand by you, man. A female is only here to, like I say, stand by her man or her king, and to, you know, only want the best for him. So if you're not on purpose, she ain't gonna look at you the same, because you have no balls to take on the world, or you're just someone who's scared, stuck, or depressed. And women, they crave power. They crave someone who ain't afraid to just say fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And this goes for anybody. I'm just giving y'all a subtle example, because to truly know what it means to be yourself is to, like I say, stand alone until everything comes your way, man, because it will. You just gotta stay calm like the water and know that it's gonna be all right. You know, family? But I'm gonna give y'all one more example. I gave y'all two so far, and the shit I'm telling y'all is to be true, because I walked in those shoes, man. You know, coochie, or you know, I don't want to say the slang that everybody else knows, but let's just say that, you know, it has been thrown my way so many times, but it takes a strong warrior to just say, I'm cooling, because once you give that energy away, man, you got to start all over, family. Or, you know, your aura, it slowly drops in frequency, so that big ass, you know, light bulb you have around you, y'all, it's not like this no more. It's slowly shrinking. And that's what they wanted you to be, because once you have no energy, well then you are stuck on a physical dimension. You're living through your body and not through your, you know, your pinpoints or the energies that you have within you, you know. If you was to have energy and you are truly tapped in, well, you will have everything around you that truly loves you, man. You know, you will be able to sleep with tigers, or you will be able to walk with panthers in the jungle, because, like I said, they crave flesh because they are animals. That's what they were made to eat, you know. Truly, they weren't, but as we feel, you know, that's what they started, you know, contaminating their bodies with, because, you know, that's just how life is, man. If we fall, so will everything, because you are the power. You know, you create life, man. You give life to the sun. So I'm telling y'all that, you know, if you are scared of spiders or you fear something that's alive like you, well, just know that that's because you don't truly know who you are. You know, you haven't taken time to figure out why the fuck is he existing like me. You know, family, you just want to kill everything, and that's something you don't want to do, family. You don't want to just throw trash onto the earth because she's living like you. You know, that's why tsunamis or earthquakes will happen unknowingly, and your ass might fall into the fucking abyss because you think everything's dead when truly they're trying to show you subtle signs to maybe that light will bink, and that bitch will remind you that you were never just flesh, man. The flesh is what you are controlled, or you know, that's how you move. But you must really rise, family. You must rise like a phoenix, man. But the last and the final example or story, you know, you will gain respect, man. You know, you will gain so much respect from whether people like you or they don't, because they see that you respect yourself, man. You know what, fuck it, I don't even want to talk about it. I've been telling y'all this for so long. Let's give y'all something that ain't too many people gonna tell you about. You know what I'm saying, family? You know, let me think about it, family, because there's so many, man. And I might have to break another video or bring it to y'all, showing y'all all these fucking, you know, content clues or just the powers you start gaining. Once you become someone with this energy, you become aware, you become a light, you become someone that ain't taking so light, because you're treated like a king on this journey, man. You make motherfuckers want to bow down and praise you. That's how much respect you have within your avatar. And if they can't, that's because they don't have it within them, so they're gonna stay away from you because you trigger them, you know, you cause them to change, and they're not ready for that yet. But just as I say this, family, know this, man, that the energy you have, man, it's like the sun, man, and it shines. You know, this is the one. This is the story I'm gonna give you, man, and it's a good story. So that sun, man, with you just being yourself, man, you have the power to call that bitch out when you want to, or you have the power to just make rain fall or snow. You know, applaud. You are in control of the weather, like that or not, because everything's existing within you, man. Nothing doesn't come without you. So if you weren't here, nothing would exist. You know, this room wouldn't even be here without you, man, because everything is created through carbon, you know, and you know, you will see that over time within, depending on if you love yourself enough. It's simply the black goo that your body emits, you know, and you will have glitter that reminds you of your true colors, man. So let's just say you see glitter on your skin. Well, that's to remind you that who you once were back then. You know, that's why your skin glows glitter. You might think like, what the fuck? I never touched no glitter. It's emitting from your body, man, because depending on how you feel, man, your body's emitting those colors, man, because it's either gonna come from your heart, your throat, your pineal, or your crown, and all those signify different colors, man. But to truly know what that means is to just live and act, and how you are living, how you feel, depending on what you are doing, you will see those glitters if you are tapped in, because that's only signifying to you that those colors were always within you, and that's who you were back then. Because you know, that's fucking power, man. You are powerful, man. You are someone that is just looked at like a glop of meat, but really, y'all, you must turn that flesh into one with your spirit, man. And that's what God means when he's telling you to have the Holy Spirit, man. You must have that Holy Spirit, man, because you know, you need to help people, man. We came down here to help them. You know, you could like me or you don't like me, but I'm gonna help you if I can, because I love you like I love myself, man, because I truly found love, man. And all I want to do is give it out to the world, you know. And that's why, you know, I'm finna hit 20K, man. And you know, I salute. Thank y'all for, you know, helping me reach 20K, family. You know, I'm telling y'all, 20K is just the start, man. You haven't seen nothing yet. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna hit millions and billions if I'm still living here. Like Pac said, if God gave me breath for 20 more years, man. I want y'all to come back to this video because, you know, I don't play about myself, man. I'm someone that just wants to help, and I embrace the solitude. I've been in the darkness for too long, and in that darkness, I found the light, man. So that's why I'm here with the light bulb, trying to tell your ass this shit. Because maybe, just maybe, if you heard from someone like me who has the light, who has everything he's backing it up with, maybe you just might believe me. Maybe you just might take this information and use it. You know, you might not have this glow yet, but you will get it. You know, family, you will get it. I promise you, you will get it, family. As long as you love you and you stay true to you, because every person in this world craves what's unknown or mysterious, but it's not really mysterious. It's just, you know, you stand out, man. You're like a volcano that erupted and people weren't aware of it. So, you know, they all look down, or like I said, they have to get away from your ass because they weren't ready for the mass destruction, man. So this video was simply called, to be honest, the stories you might live within the journey you take, family, because everybody has a different story scenario. You know, if you lost people, well, just know that they ain't dead, man. I promise you they're not. Their soul has transcended. They found peace. Their flesh ain't here. You can't see the flesh, but you can still talk to them. You can still ask for signs, and you can still love yourself fulfillingly, because if you transcend with energy, y'all, well, you will see them again, because the energy you carry will help you break through that fucking firmament, so you can't get sucked in by that fishing pole they were showing y'all in that commercial. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it's all she wrote, man. You know how Orochimaru, they want to say he was a female, or he was acting like a girl. Well, you can say I'm acting like a girl, or you can call me a girl if you want, because I know I'm a man, and you know, ain't no one can stop me in the physical form. It's just that he has found a divine peace, so he has masculinity and feminine energy within him. And that's why you don't need nobody if you want to choose the route of oneness or alone or solitude, because you gain that energy if you start working on yourself, family. And that right there is what most people can't handle, because they look at you like you soft, but in reality, y'all, you're being soft for them, because you know those struggles and trials, man, that they're going through now, you have already concluded or evolved past that. So you're just here to help people, man. But this was something that is power, man. So I need y'all to be aware. Trust your gut, trust yourself. And if this shit don't sound right with you, man, well, just know that don't believe me, because I'm not asking you to believe me, but I'm just here to tell you the shit I live, because I'm only here to help y'all, family. I mean, the glow should be enough to tell you, like, damn, that motherfucker look good, or he look healthy, and I am healthy. So I know my wife, whoever she is gonna be, she's gonna be all right with me. You know, ain't nobody gonna be able to get near her or touch her, because, like I say, you don't have to do nothing. All you gotta do is rise. You know what I'm saying, family? Or let's just say, you know, you have a wife, man. We all have found love before, but it wasn't really what you think, because true love is gonna only look at what loving is, man. You know, to love someone is to have found love within you, because nothing around you or outside of you can pull that partner or that, like I say, that being away from you, because you know who you are and he knows who he is. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, y'all, this was a good video, and I hope y'all found yourselves, because, you know, if I have, so will you. Just give it time, family. Give it time. But I'll see y'all, family. It's 100. I love y'all.